One of the most beautiful cities in all of America, San Francisco, California, where the Giants are looking for their third World Series title in 5 seasons. Gorgeous. Golden Gate Bridge, of course, it's a tourist destination for all. And right now, the destination for baseball fans is AT&T Park. We're in it together. The rallying cry for Madison Bumgarner and also for us here. Baseball Tonight live on ESPN.com. Adnan, Virk alongside Buster Olney and Jayson Stark. You know and love them and read their work often on our site. This feels like the Seamheads edition of the show. We're here in San Francisco. Let's talk first, guys, with the major news of the day, and that's Joe Madden. Buster, you broke the story. What's been the reaction right now? Because I think to most of us, it's surprised that he's actually leaving Tampa.
Yeah, and I think it surprised the Tampa Bay Rays as well. Yeah. We know this, is that when Andrew Friedman left the Rays to go to the Dodgers, we heard from Joe Madden and the Rays saying they wanted each other. They wanted to work out something. They talked, and they couldn't work it out. So Madden had this clause within his contract that allowed him to opt out once Freeman left. So he goes out on the open market, and already baseball's filled with speculation about where he's going to go. We know the Minnesota Twins are looking for a manager, but that would be a parallel move to another small market team. That doesn't make sense. Andrew Friedman, president of the Dodgers now, put out a statement saying Don Mattingly's going to be their manager in 2015. So baseball is filled with talk about Joe Madden going to the Chicago Cubs. I think it's going to happen. What about you?
I mean, if you're talking about the Chicago Cubs, I absolutely think that's where he's going. Joe is not going to leave to just take any job. He's going to take a job with a big profile and a big paycheck, and the Cubs are the marquee job. Now, they have a manager, which makes this kind of interesting. But something has happened here that changed the direction that this was heading. Until a few days ago, it was clear that Joe Madden and the Rays were moving toward an extension. And then all of a sudden, they weren't. And so this is going to be interesting. I mean, Joe was the face and the voice of their franchise. So to lose him is a huge blow. They were prepared, I think, to do pretty much whatever it took. And the fact that even that was not enough tells us that something is out there that Joe Madden knows he can take.
And as widely respected as Joe Madden is in the game, I'm sure you guys have heard the sentiment, okay, let's see what he'll do in a big market. Let's see what he'll do when there's real pressure and expectation, which he's never had in Tampa. And clearly a guy like Joe Madden will relish that opportunity to have resources at his disposal now.
Boy, and look at what the Cubs have in front of them right now. They have incredible payroll flexibility. They only really have one long-term deal besides Starlin Castro and Anthony Rizzo, and that's with Edwin Jackson. The expectation within baseball is they're going to get 2 of the primary pitching names that are going to come out on the market in the next 14 months. Maybe they wind up being the team that trades for Cole Hamels. Maybe they're the team that signs Jordan Zimmerman a year from now.
Maybe John Lester.
And John Lester. They have all those great position prospects. Joe Madden, we know he's great at development from the time with the Rays. They're renovating Wrigley Field. They got the new TV contract. It's going to be a great opportunity. And as I say, I think Madden will wind up taking it.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about the Cubs, we seem to always talk about the past. Now you can look at the Cubs and talk about the future. And that's what makes them one of the best jobs out there. And if Joe Madden doesn't wind up there, there's going to be a lot of surprise people.
And an open invite, Joe. If you want to take a year off, you're more than welcome to join us here on Baseball Tonight. We'd love to have your sense of humor and all the kind of fun stuff you brought that Tampa Bay Rays organization. All right, let's switch gears and focus on Game 3 tonight. You see the fans behind us are fired up for this one. They're calling Giants victory. First things first, Buster, the lineup is different now for Kansas City. We always discuss this. When the American League team goes to National League Park, they lose that DH. Maybe Billy Butler will pinch hit, but what do you make of the fact that Ned Yost is now batting Alex Gordon second? It's a decided change for him.
Well, he had to readjust his lineup once he knew he was going to make the defensive change with Gerard Dyson going into center field and Lorenzo Cain moving to right field. Look, Nori Aoki has known last year as a good defensive outfielder. We saw him struggle in Game 1. We saw him struggle in Game 2, misplaying the ball. And I think this is an adjustment from Ned Yost, putting Dyson in there saying, you know what, at AT&T Park, with those crazy angles that can bounce off that Hunter Pence knows so well, with the bullpen mounds down the line, we need to put defense first. And I've talked to people in the American League Central who've been saying to me for a month, geez, we don't know why the Royals don't play Dyson all the time. They feel like that they're actually a better team with him in the lineup.
Right. Well, look, Aoki had a big September, and he became maybe their toughest out. And you understand why an offensively challenged team would be playing him. But by having to rearrange here, what do you have? You have 2 left-handed hitters in Hosmer, Moustakas, right in the middle of that order, back to back. if you think about how Bruce Bochy had to try to slalom his way through their left, right in the order the other night, that became a big factor in bullpen use. This allows him, I think, to bring Javier Lopez in early in the game to face both those guys, maybe even to face Alex Gordon and have Javier Lopez for 2, 3, 4 hitters. Very different dynamic that plays into the Giants' bullpen usage, too.
I guarantee you that there's going to be a situation in the 6th or 7th inning when Lopez is going to be getting up to face those two guys back-to-back. You can pretty much book it.
Yeah, you look at Billy Butler's production and what he's done so far in this for this team in this entire series. He's 3 for 6 so far. Granted, all 3 were singles, but he's driven in 2 runs, and overall, he's 5th in on-base percentage, 7th in slugging percentage, 5th in home runs, and 4th in terms of the batting average of runners in scoring position. He's also been a pretty good pinch hitter this year, Jayson, so don't be surprised Ned Yost goes to him if Bruce Bochy tries to mix him match.
Absolutely. That is the plan. When they get a situation with runners in scoring position or they feel like it's a pivotal game on the line kind of deal, that's going to be Billy Butler's time. And I talked to Billy yesterday. He said they told him that could be early in the game. It could be 4th inning, 3rd inning. He doesn't know. They're going to pick a big spot. And if you look at Billy Butler's history, as you just said, Adnan, 4 for 6 this year as a pinch hitter with a 750 on-base percentage, and lifetime has been a great pinch hitter. 306 lifetime, 432 on base, and that's in 44 pinch hit appearances. So he's good at this. He told me yesterday that, look, he basically pinch hits 4 times a night. He just has to wait longer between at bats now.
If you're a sentimental person, Buster, you're excited about Tim Hudson tonight. He is the 3rd oldest pitcher making his first World Series start, one of the all-around good guys in the game. What do you expect to see from him? Because clearly he's shown these last couple of years he can ramp up to being the ace that we used to see in Oakland.
Good stuff. In September, he was having that hip issue, and his performance went down. But we saw him earlier in the postseason. He's getting the ball down, and that's the whole key with him. If he doesn't get the ball down, he's going to get hit hard. But in this postseason, he's been able to do that. I think the question is going to be how deep can he go into the game? Yeah. Because we saw with the Giants, we're starting to get a gray area in the 6th and 7th inning because of the struggles of G. Machie and Hunter Strickland. So they need Hudson to get into the 6th inning at least, and we know that typically Bruce Bochy will keep him in the game for anywhere from 85 to 95 pitches. They would love for him to get outs in the 6th and 7th inning.
Right. He's the 3rd oldest pitcher in history to make his first World Series start. It's amazing. And the thing that I'm going to be looking for is how does he control the running game? He's had a lot of problems with it. Only threw out 3 of 18 base stealers this year when he was on the mound, and it's 4 of 26 the last 2 years. This is an opportunity for the Royals to rev it up.
And I agree with both you guys. Considering what Hunter Strickland did in his last performance, the fact Tim Lincecum had that back issue, don't be surprised to see Yusmeiro Petit maybe a lot sooner than Bruce Bochy. Right, this is not the time now to, we'll use him later on in long relief. No, this is a critical game. Clearly, Bochy will go to Petit if need be.
Well, I think so, but you have to recognize, too, that he's got Ryan Vogelsong starting tomorrow night. And Ryan Vogelsong got knocked out early, had a 5.5 ERA in September.
Right.
He may want to save Petit for that. So it'll be interesting to watch. If he has to, obviously he will push that button, but it's tricky.
And Jeremy Guthrie will get the start for Kansas City, and this is another guy who seems to be impervious to pressure. He's a very big free spirit buster. He's kind of casual about this whole performance. He's a guy who's long in the tooth. You look at the lineup he's facing for San Francisco, and of course there was that great stat in the NLCS when they scored 12 of 22 runs without getting a base hit. You look at this lineup now, and clearly Blanco's been the catalyst to top it. And
it's been interesting to talk with scouts in the last 24 hours. They feel like the way the Giants swing the bat, that Guthrie is a good matchup for them. That he doesn't, they're good fastball hitters, but he's not an overwhelming pitcher. They feel like, in particular, I heard a lot from scouts that Sandoval is swinging the bat so well in this postseason. That's going to be a difficult matchup for Guthrie today.
I'll tell you what's interesting. Jeremy Guthrie has only started 1 game in the last 4 weeks. I was going to say he's pitched well lately, only 2 earned runs in his last 4 starts. That covers a lot of ground.
You mentioned Sandoval, Buster. He's putting himself now on a very short list of great players come October. He's got a higher lifetime batting average of World Series than Babe Ruth.
Yeah, and the other day I talked to him in the Giants clubhouse, and I said, why is it that you seem so relaxed? And he looked at me and goes, you know, when you're working out in the offseason, this is what you dream of, an opportunity like this. Yeah. Why should I be nervous? And he certainly plays like someone who's not concerned about being on the big stage. Brandon Belt, his teammate, says he lives for this.
15 seconds to go. Prediction tonight, Jayson. How do we see it?
I think the Giants find a way to win this game, but I think it'll be a crazy game. I'll go 6-4.
I agree. I think the Giants win tonight.
Who wins tonight, Giants or Royals? I think you have your answer here from the crowd. Baseball tonight, live on ESPN.com. For Jayson Stark, Buster Olney, I'm Adnan Virk.